Five.
Hi, my name is John Hendricks. I'm the National Sales Manager for O2IS Corporation and Organisan Corporation. Today, I have Mr. Lou Forget with me. He works in the South and Central Florida regions, and he has an extensive history in citrus, and I have him with me today to answer a few questions for me. Lou, you can go ahead and tell me a little bit about yourself and kind of how you came into the citrus industry.
Okay, born and raised in South Florida, and my family's been in the citrus business for about 75 years. And so I followed up in it in 1976. I joined a citrus organization called Florida Citrus Mutual, in which I called on citrus growers for problems that they might be having, mainly through legislature. Then in 1980, I went to work for Diamond R Fertilizer Company, a large company in the state of Florida operating there. I've been working with them since 1980 through the present time in there, so quite a few years with them. I've been familiar and working with your products the last 9 years in there as a dealer and a distributor. I'm also working through Diamond R Fertilizer, selling your products, promoting your products in there into the citrus industry.
Good deal. So you started in the citrus industry in 1976, the year that I was born. So that's 43 years under your belt there. That's quite a history.
Well, it's good to know that I started the same year you were born over there. So maybe
Things happen, right?
I can pass on some of that knowledge to your customers.
Good things happen in years. I like it. So you've been working with us for about 5 years now. So how have you used the product in the past? Like what do you use like our adjuvants in conjunction with in the citrus industry?
Yes, when I first started working with your products, we were using them as an adjuvant, of course, in addition to fungicide programs, insecticide programs. Sometimes both materials were used in addition to your products. What we found was that the performance of the insecticides and the fungicides was enhanced by the O2IS materials that I was using. I always use the O2IS materials with the University of Florida and manufacturer recommendations on the materials that were being used in there. For example, one of the toughest fungus problems out there for fresh fruit growers is called Alternaria. Alternaria is on some of the thin-skinned fruit. Probably the best one known as the Miniotangelo, or called the honeybell. And that is a very big tourist, and also one that's used for shipping up north for gift fruit in there. So they have that fungus on the fruit over there, even though it does not affect the taste. It just makes it look ugly in there. And Alternaria, with the products that were being out there, was kind of iffy as to whether or not it performed well. When I started using the O2IS products in addition to the recommended fungicides, I noticed a big decline in the Alternaria problem in there, not only in our grove, which is where I do a lot of experimenting, but also in my customers' groves, through my Diamond R customers. And so we found great success with that. Another fungus issue we have is one called melanose. And melanose is a spring fungus, and that one is a very common problem on a lot of fresh fruit, but mostly on fresh grapefruit. That one can cause some blemishes. Again, that fungus has no effect on the taste or anything, but it's just an aesthetic problem in there. Again, using the O2IS, the first time we started was like a quart per acre. Okay. With the maintenance rates coming on both the Alternaria and the melanose issues, we started off at a quart per acre, and then when we came back with another spray, usually about 4 weeks apart, we came back with a maintenance rate, which is about pint per acre of the O2IS products.
Good deal, good deal. You kind of answered my next question already. I was going to ask you, what have you seen in the past that makes you want to keep using our products with your customers? Any other success stories that you can think of that's happened in the past that you want to share?
Sure. There's a lot of different ways we've used your products. In addition to getting better insect control, which is a big issue, of course, on fresh fruit. And as you know, we've had some new pests that keep I don't know, making their way to Florida for some reason.
You
And
guys are the guinea pigs for any new pests that come up. You guys always see them first for whatever reason.
well, I think they just get off the boat at the Port of Tampa or Port of Miami in there. But anyway, they make their ways to the groves and other crops too out there. So, and we found, for example, that some of the testing I told you about earlier we're doing, we're actually looking at trying to control this new mealybug pest that showed up. And also to see, because there's a great interest in green products by some of these larger citrus growers, they're showing a lot of interest in trying your product along with some other green products that we put in addition to it to see if we can get the insect control we need and at a affordable price. And then being green products, we don't have to worry about the problem with issues of EPA. And of course, EPA, I know, and really likes your products too. So that's one of the things we're looking at, controlling spider mites, controlling weevils. Weevils are a big problem in there, and I know that the chitosan has a very good effect against it. Also, we've seen good success where we put it out on the ground, either through a spray boom underneath the tree or through a fertigation system, where you put out Nemasan and O2 or Nemasan enhancer. And we found great success in controlling not only nematodes, but also the weevil eggs that land on the ground. So a lot of them, when it's treated area, never see the light of day when they hatch in there. So, and that's a big plus in there because those particular insects cause different problems in there. The one insect I'm really anxious to see if we can get some control through the chitosan material being added to the recommended insecticides is to the citrusillid, which is the main culprit in spreading the greening disease, which is a bacteria which is about devastated the citrus industry in there. So we're always looking for answers for that because the past pesticides they use are very toxic. They're old ones in there, and they have not been very effective at all with this particular. This pest has been one of the worst we've seen in many, many years since some outbreak of aphids many years ago. But this one's in a class by itself in there. So, and it's a worldwide problem. It's not just Florida. It's spread to other citrus areas, Texas, Arizona, and California in there because of the psyllid spreading around in there. So there's a lot of potential for the your chitosan materials to help in the control of that particular pest.
Very good, very good. You had mentioned earlier about the rates that you started with and then follow-up rates. What are kind of some of the spray routines that you guys are using in Central and South Florida and the citrus groves that you have?
Yeah, they have different spray methods in there, and that's usually the gallons of water per acre. It ranges anywhere from 500 gallons per acre to 25. They have different types of sprayers that are high volume or low volume spray applicators in there. Everybody seems to have their preference. So I always gear the materials that you have towards whatever spray program that I can work with them based on their equipment in there. And then that once I know what their equipment is, what their rate per acre is, the rate per acre never changes no matter what the equipment is. But the timing is very important, as well as mixing the materials correctly in the tank, putting out the correct spray volume, and of course watching the weather so you don't get any of your expensive spray materials washed off in there. So it's a lot of things you have to do to make it work.
Good deal, good deal. So in Central and South Florida, do you guys have growing seasons, or is it pretty much year-round?
Year-round.
Year-round, okay. So you don't really have a time that you're coming out of dormancy or anything like that, right?
Well, we have a dormancy period. That's usually from probably mid-November through probably late February.
Okay, okay.
And it also depends on what type of winter you have in there, because Florida can have all kinds of winters in there, some very mild, or what they call Indian summers. It can show up in December, or December could be really cold in there. But we have not had any severe cold weather probably in about 18 years in there. So we're kind of overdue for that one in there, which will be faster freezes in there. However, another good use I found, of course, for the O2 products has been in cold protection,
Okay.
which is very important in citrus, especially on young trees. Even though we have wraps around to protect them from the cold, if a severe cold comes in there, usually below 28 degrees for 4 or more hours consecutive, damage is likely to occur. But we found, well, mainly doing it through some vegetable plots I was doing, but we also did citrus and peaches. We provided the O2 material to be used for cold protection at a quart per acre, 24 to 48 hours ahead of the potential cold front coming into the area.
Very good. Very good. Very good. So do you find you guys you're doing your first spraying right as you're coming out of dormancy? Is that correct?
Yes. Yeah, they have what the pre-bloom sprays, but most of the time now they're always post-bloom sprays, which could be in Florida where I am. Most likely late March would be start of those sprays. And then it depends on the customer's preference, like how many sprays they want to put out or how much they can afford actually in there. And so usually those sprays, starting from the first spray, are usually about 4 weeks apart, depending on weather in there. And, they might average anywhere from 4 sprays to 8 sprays per year.
Sure. Okay. Good deal.
So they have more.
I'm sorry?
I was going to say, because of the different type of customers you have, the amount of material that you go out is based on how many times they want to spray and why they're spraying.
Okay, good deal. Lou, thank you. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. You've answered all the questions that I have. Really appreciate you having you as a part of this team. I mean, you truly are a wealth of information in the citrus industry. So again, thank you. Thank you so much for your time.
Certainly. And I really would recommend to your potential customers, citrus customers in particular, to really look into the many ways you can use your products because they work very well.
Good thing. I love hearing that from my distributor.
And a user.
All right. Take care, Lou. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Bye-bye.